Hi, it's Bumbleberry, and we are back. I am back with Mr. You need to separate yourself from me. Branwen, you can't live a normal life with me. Branwen, you're not a vampire, Isador, as far as I know. Like, we are not dedicating to spend eternity and drink blood from small, innocent children. So, you need to chillax. Well, it doesn't really look like he's aged, so maybe he is a vampire. I might have sounded overly harsh, but I meant every single word that I said. It is unhealthy for you to be so attached to me. So I should just leave you to go die on the streets. That would be the ideal option. Okay, no problem. Let's go. We can talk about this when you get better. There are lots of things we have to talk about when I get better, aren't there? Why are you so sassy? You've never once asked about the accusations you made against me. Or, not you made, just people made. You can't avoid them forever. My priority is to keep you safe. The rest can burn in flames for all I care. And you refuse to get it, don't you? Dude, you're being so sassy. Cough, 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 cough. Help him. Thank you, Branwen. I could have watched him suffer. Which, if you killed those girls, I might do next time. So you better watch your back. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Isador seems adamant on keeping his distance from me. All the other conversations are either rants about how terrible he is, or he would say nothing at all. What should I do? Should I cry? I'll cry. Ha, he cried. I could either cry or not talk to him. Alright. I'm sorry, Branwen. Please don't cry. Divine dragons, I just seem to make everything worse, don't I? Yes. Yes, you do. I'm sorry, Branwen. I have been acting most discourteous as of late, and all I did was make you distressed. What can I do to make it up to you? Well, tell me about your past life. Yes! I was once a member of the Nortrek army, but then I got expelled. Why? I suppose I was a rather insolent person and bent the rules a little too much. Everyone around me was itching for a chance to get rid of me, and when the chance came, they jumped on it. Bitter resentment for that particular incident, coupled with my foolishness, led me to where I am today. What are you doing? Making you food. You like chocolate doughbows and medicine cake, don't you? I prepared a lot of them. Oh, look at her cute little excited face. He's like, you are such an insolent child. Whatever, Mr. Immortal Face. I am awesome and I have cake. Deal with it. Oh, it's a 2-layered cape. You guys, I can finally see what she's wearing. Oh, he pat my head. It's so cute. I feel like I should learn how to draw in this style. It's very cute. But for the thumbnails, at least, I try to be a little fancy. Like, more like this. Because if she can spend 1,000,000 years on it, I can spend, a couple hours. I have 0 artistic skills, by the way, so if you guys like the thumbnail a lot, let me know, because I spent so much time. But it's fine. If you don't, just don't say anything. While the Cadale guards do not lack in fighting skills, they are awfully inept at investigation. I've been here for at least 2 weeks, and they're still wandering around like headless chickens. And the captain is chronically drunk. Yep, that explains a lot. Still, if the head security of Cadale is in such a state, then I dread to think of the stability of the kingdom as a whole. But I suppose that would just put us in a more advantageous position, doesn't it? Here you are. Branwen, have some blueberry Boston fruit. How did you know this is my favorite? Yeah, how did he go out with it? I mean, I guess I have the recipes here. I didn't live with you for 6 years for nothing, Branwen. Every time I baked something with blueberries in it, you would always pick those parts out and eat them first before moving on to the rest. Now that I think about it, you were never a picky eater. Or where did you learn to cook? Where did you learn to cook? I just follow the recipe. I don't have passion nor knowledge of the culinary arts, so obeying the rules is the only way for me to cook well. I guess that makes sense. Alright, so you were never a picky eater. I have suffered through a period of poverty that has taught me to be grateful for whatever food comes my way. That being said, as long as it doesn't affect your health, I am happy to indulge in your appetite. Just because I have the taste of a famished tramp doesn't mean you have to imitate me. What's with that face he's making? He's like, Alright, let's sleep. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna say he's bored, or why do you like chocolate? Chocolate! I like its texture and sweetness. I once had to survive on a bag of those alone when I was trying to secure funding for my project. The taste of chocolate eventually grew on me. You survived on chocolate? That sounds delicious. What? Take off your clothes, Branwen, okay, and start stripping, or what for? Not here. Please go to the other room. What to change into? You can go and ask the innkeeper for some clothes. What for? Your clothes look like they need mending. I would have liked to make a new dress for you, but I'm afraid without my spectacles, the best I can do is finger through the dress and cape and fix up some tears. The mending won't be as good as before, but it is better than nothing. You look thoughtful, Branwen. What are you thinking? I was wondering what life would be like if you were just a normal shop owner. But that wouldn't be you, would it? Or you don't seem like a psycho killer. I guess I'll say the shop. It's too late for that now. That's because I am not. I am simply a selfish human being who has done terrible deeds to achieve my goals. But I am not crazy and do not kill for the sake of it. Now, if you would excuse me, I would like to drop this topic. So he has killed people. He basically just said. Okay, we're almost at my magic day, so let's get to my magical day. Yes! I have always been wondering, why are proficient magic users called scholars? Isn't it awfully misleading? More prestige than magician. After all, those card readers on the street claim to be magicians too, while the scholar always have some sort of credentials. Then again, it doesn't really matter that much in the end, does it? I'm thinking I might run out of time. I've been thinking, can't you just heal yourself? You've done so before. Been trying to, but that weapon that hurt me has been smeared with some sort of substance that has rendered my magic... Isador, are you alright? That's me almost. Like, what? Are you okay? Why haven't I thought of this before? What can cancel out magic and harm a scholar to that degree? The blood of a... But what if my conjectures are faulty? It is hardly a laughing matter to be accusing. Yes, that alone is no evidence, but I think I actually might be this close. I was extremely confused with what Isador was saying, but he was too busy muttering to himself and pacing around the room to notice me anymore. At least he is finally showing some signs of recovering. I haven't seen him this animated in years. Cake to celebrate. Oh, and she's not saying anything about poor little Oswin. Branwen, you are more familiar with the surroundings of Cadil than I am. Tell me, are there many people out after night? No, other than patrolling the members of the Cadil Guards, the nightlife of Cadil is non-existent. Why would I ask if he's planning on killing someone? That's stupid. It's good to hear. Why am I asking about this? Well, I plan to make a trip to the forest at night in the future. I know it is dangerous for me to do so, but it is crucial that I go. What if he does kill me in the end? Too engrossed with making tiny charms out of strips of cloth and chanting under his breath to notice you. Want me to help? Are you sure? Well, then can you help me tie these into a knot? I am planning to make about 500 of these, so make as many of these little knots as you can. Alright, so I made a bunch of knots. Now all he does is mutter to himself. Maybe I should make an attempt at small talk? Why did you adopt me? Series of coincidences. What does that mean? So the current prince of the land is named Ivan, is he? What's he like? He's polite and charming. The girls are taken with him. Does he have any noteworthy anecdotes or political incidents? Do you know anything pertaining to his background? What? You are willing to go ask the president of his fan club? No, there is really no need. But stay away from that man if you can. Why do you know the prince? Can you tell me about the captain of the Cadil Guard? His name is Dominicus, and he seems to be acquainted with the prince. Oh, and he hates your guts. How typical of him. I look at his face. He's like, how typical. I don't blame him, though. I would have similar sentiments if I was in his place. Alright, nap time. I have cake. I am planning on going to the forest tonight. I don't think tonight is a good time to go. I heard that the captain of the Cadil Guard is out about. Let me go with you. I will help you with whatever you are going to do. Because how would I know if he's going to be out there tonight? Then put on your cloak. According to the temperature of the window surface, it's going to be cold tonight. Let's adventure! Sorry, I'm secretly clapping in the background. 3 hours later, after much walking and hanging of charms. I think we managed to hang all of them. Took less time than I thought it would. That was all due to your help. Now I have to reinforce them with enchantments so that nobody can see them besides us. It will take a bit of time, so go find a tree and rest for a bit. I will wake you when I am done. Don't you still need my help? There's an awful lot of charms. I have to do this part by myself, Branwen. Oh, well, if you change your mind, I'll be waiting over the tree over there with a magazine. You know what? Sassy McSasserpants, I'm going to eat some of the cake. Oh, wait. Yes? Oh, he was fastening. Oh, he put his cloak on me. That's nice. Maybe I hate you less. As soon as I realized what was going on, protested that he needed his cloak more than I did. He pretended not to hear me and walked away. Is he going to, commit suicide or something? I hope not. He said something about a blood spell. Sorry. All right. With nothing to do, I went and sat down beneath a tree. As I hugged my knees and watched Isador from a distance, I was reminded of when Isador finally warmed up to me, and for the first time... What? 3 years ago, the deserts of Northwick. Hello! Look at his little glasses. Oh, she looks so happy. I've never seen her so happy. Oh, good, you're finally awake. I was beginning to worry I would have to carry you back. Why are you on top of me? Oh, I was checking to see if you were still breathing. You were looking awfully depressed and sick lately. I was worried something might happen to you while you went to gather ingredients. So I followed you this time. And I am glad I did, because you fainted when a sandstorm was approaching. If I didn't tail along, if I hadn't, trailed you, it would have been quite difficult to dig you up. That sandstorm was 1 hour ago. You were here for that long in this heat? Probably. It didn't seem that long, though. Why are you so devoted to me? Huh? I'm a bitter social reject. Oh, why is he smiling? Looks like he's saying something charming. I'm a bitter social reject who has hardly ever acted kind towards you. Might be better to just let me die here in the wilderness, don't you think? So why are you still here? Why are you laughing? Because you're being uncharacteristically funny. You might think you're terrible to me, Isador, but actually you're the nicest person I have ever met. I was lying when I said that I don't remember anything from my past. I can't recall the specific details, but I do remember being taunted, beaten, and threatened by the villagers and everyone else that was around me. Considering that my last clear memories are of blood and snide comments from passerbys on the street, it was a miracle I survived long enough to meet you. And although I don't know much about you, I do know that your kindness towards me did not stop at one bowl of hot food. You gave me an education, a roof above my head, and clothing on my back. For the first time in my life, I felt safe. Ever since you tore up that picture, I've been thinking about what you said. And I guess the conclusion is, I just really want you to like me. I suppose that after all the things you've done for me, I was being a little too greedy. So what I really want to say is this. Don't be so hard on yourself, for you'll always be amazing in my eyes. Aw, look at his smiling face. Oh, Isador, are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. I was just laughing at what a fool I have been. For all these years, I've been steadily digging a hole for myself. I suppose it's about time I be a good sport and jump in, isn't it? I'm afraid I don't quite understand what you just said. Of course you don't. But enough with our silly chit-chat. Since I have reached a new conclusion and purpose, there are some things I need to take care of. I need to get to Shady Sal and have a personal talk with him before the day ends. And since I would hate to see you being roasted alive in this dreadful heat, I suggest you get off of my body and wait for me. She's been on top of him this whole time? Woo! And wait for me in our residence. Okay. Fair enough, later that day. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back! Did you learn what you needed to know from Shady Sal? No, and I didn't expect him to tell me anything relevant. Relevant, sorry. Wait. Shouldn't it be relevant? Yeah. Okay. But I did wean from him enough information to scrap together a vague start. I'm sorry, but it looks like we are going to be traveling for quite a bit, Branwen. Should I pack our things? I have already done so. How, magic man? Oh, okay, then when are we leaving? You seem particularly eager to embark on this trip. Aren't you sad to leave Nortrecht, Branwen? Not really. As long as I'm with you, anywhere's fine with me. I was actually planning on leaving before the day got dark, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to show you this before we go. Put on your cloak, Branwen. We are going to the desert again. I guess it's cold at nighttime. Look at the sands. Swooshy swooshiness. That's actually kind of a pretty background. Isador, this place is really cool and all, but it's kind of hard to gather materials during the night. We are not here to pick materials, Branwen. Be patient and wait. If you are bored or tired, feel free to sit in the sand or entertain yourself. Make a sand castle if you must. Your sassiness is on its last leg. Okay. I didn't want to make a sand castle, but my legs were getting tired, so I sat down and stared aimlessly at the sky. After a while, I saw something that I would always remember. It's shooting stars. Isador, the stars are falling. Are they going to hit anyone? There are a few incidents of such... Oh no, that's her. There are a few incidents of such happenings. That's too bad. But wait, so that was supposed to be him. That's too bad, but they're still so beautiful. Every single star in the sky is being told is being with a story that is a millennium old, Branwen. And even though we can't see them during the day, the stars are always there, above us and watching. When I'm feeling alone or frustrated, I always remind myself of their existence, and my frustration fades away for a bit. After all, if even the stars can fall so gracefully from the heavens, what do we mere mortals have to complain of? This is my favorite scenery ever since I was a child, and I was hoping to show it to you once before we leave Nortrek. Isador? What is it, Branwen? Thank you. For the rest of the night, we enjoyed the meteor shower in silence. As the cool night breeze brushed across my face in the field, I eventually fell asleep. But when I awoke again the next morning, I found myself neatly tucked into bed. Isador, for all his cold demeanor, had carried me home with such care that I didn't even notice the night was gone. Well, so you did something nice for us. That's good. Look at this. I love these little paintings and stuff. It's very sweet. And she's still wearing his cloak. I got a piggyback ride. Where are we again, Isador? We're in the woods of Cadil. You fell asleep while you were waiting for me to put up the charm, so I decided to carry you back. You should not carry me. It's not good for your health. Okay, because he cares. He's a magician. Everything I do is not good for my health, and after almost 40 years of living like this, I'm too lazy to change my lifestyle. You worry too much, Branwen. Go get some sleep. You're trying to be all distant again, Isador. Remember the time you took me to see the stars, Isador? And how you keep encouraging me to look at the outside world? I think you're actually a very considerate person. You just like pretending that you're mean. Oh, that was so sweet. Should I stare at the wall with him? He smiles bitterly to himself. Is there something on your mind? I'm just thinking about the time we spent together. Time passes fast, doesn't it? This might be a bit sudden, but please promise me that you will always be true to yourself and never let others sway you. I'm gonna vow to keep you safe no matter what. Oh, if you're gonna ruin yourself over me, I'll jump out this building right now and splatter my head on the pavement. This is no joke, Branwen. Please think through your thoughts carefully. Whatever. I will try. Fine. Fine. Please always remember what you've said to me today. I don't have much to give, but is there anything you desire? Can I say you? You already have that! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What? This is me doing my little squee face. Can I give you cake? I'll give you cherry. This is homemade, isn't it? I don't deserve your kindness, Branwen. Suppose that I was not wanted in the 3 major kingdoms. What would you want to do then? Can we open a cake shop in Cadil? That sounds splendid. I hope you work towards your goal. Since my health has sufficiently recovered, we should leave this place before the guards catch up with us. What do you think about leaving tonight? I have already packed your bags for you. Yeah, sure. I'm all set. You're leaving in 5 hours. Let's do this! Later that night on the edge of the Cadil forest. There's like a lantern. I guess we are almost out of Cadil. So Isador, where are we going next? I will leave that decision up to you. Frankly, if you've been able to evade being captured with an unconscious man in a suitcase, then you know more about the art of being a refugee than I do. Well, in that case, I guess we can head south from here to the Olorima Kingdom. Being a country full of ex-convicts and half-breeds, I bet you and I would fit right in without anyone batting an eye. But it doesn't exactly have the best living environment, but we can... Oh, he's patting my head again. Meow. That's really sweet. I love how many, little drawings she has for this storyline. You usually don't show your affection that much. Oh, she's blushing. I know, and I deeply regret not doing it more often in the past. Let me indulge myself for a while, Branwen, for I might not have another chance. Huh? What do you mean? What is going on? It looks like the sleeping enchantment on the trees are beginning to work. I didn't expect it to be so soon. Then again, I did make roughly 500 charms. No matter what, I have already been stalling for too long, and it's time to put a stop to all this madness. What? Goodbye, Branwen? Goodbye? Are you serious? Are you serious? After an uncertain amount of time. Excuse me. Did you leave me here to die? To start a cake shop by myself with Oswin as his rebound? Ugh, my head. Just how long have I been sleeping? Isador. He's not in the... What's over here? Marabella. Capella 17, the middle door of the Cadillion. Merchant. Hello Wise. Carew 27. Olorima prostitute. Gretel Grant 19. Cadillion bar wench at the Dragon's Keep. Fiona Lure 28. So this is all the girls who've been killed? They're all in their 20s or a little younger. And then Natalie. Wow, Amiralo went to a lot of trouble to draw all these people. Widow of a Nortrek noble. Maybe that was who he was flirting with? A beggar on the streets of Nortrek? That's me? You know, it is quite rude to be looking at another's papers without permission. Prince Ivan wants to eat my face, and there's blood everywhere. Oh my gosh, Isador, please help me. Don't look so scared. As you can see, I am critically wounded. In fact, I'm dying. There's no way I can pose any threat to you in my current state, see? Although I do have to say that traitor Isador himself isn't in great shape either. Tell me where Isador is. She has a no-nonsense face. I like her. I see you're in a hurry. Aren't you interested to know why I have so many portraits of those poor murder victims? Or what exactly my relationship with Isador is? Come on, you would be a big liar if you said you weren't the least bit curious. So why don't you relax for a bit? Come, sit yourself on that sofa over there and let me tell you a funny little story. Once upon a time, there was a prince who lived in a pastel-colored land. As the only heir, he was raised by his parents to be perfect and was praised by all around him. As a reward for being a good child, his mother promised the prince that when he grew up, he would marry the most beautiful girl in the land and lived happily ever after. However, all beauty and goodness is tarnished by flaws and sickness. The prince learned that when his beautiful mother and her maidservants rotted away in an epidemic that took the lives of many people. From that moment on, even the tiniest flaw in a woman's appearance would invoke memories of his mother's and maidservants' horribly disfigured faces. It revolted him to the point of murder. However, his father, the king, didn't understand the prince's sentiment and was adamant that he marry the ugly daughter of a Nortrek scholar. Wait, those are the ribbons of Natalie. Like the what's-his-face captain's sister. So you were murdering girls because they reminded you of your mom? And when she was rotting? In order to stop his father's meddling, the prince rendered his father an invalid, confined to his bed, and the prince began his personal search for a perfect bride. However, even after reviewing all of the girls in the kingdom and beyond, the prince realized that all of them had one flaw or another. It didn't take the prince long to realize that even the fairest in the land had something he couldn't stand. His perfect bride did not exist. However, the prince needed a princess, and the kingdom needed an heir. What? So after much deliberation, the prince decided to create the fairest girl himself. At the same time, the prince heard rumors of a desolate scholar, a scholar who wanted to create life like a god and as a result was ostracized from society. Desperate to restore his prestige and former glory, the scholar was willing to do anything to succeed in his experiment. The scholar's endeavors piqued the prince's interest, so the prince paid him a visit, dressed as a masked merchant. Shut up, is he Shady Sam? The prince offered to fund... That's weird that the music quieted as I said shut up. Just as a masked merchant, the prince offered to find the scholar's research with all the resources a scholar could desire. But the prince had one condition. The scholar was to create the prince's ideal bride using the most flawless body parts of girls from all over the 3 kingdoms. No, so when I said I had Natalie's eyes, I really have Natalie's eyes. Ew. Once that was done, the scholar was to educate her into the perfect lady. So the scholar set to work, and you were born. What the frick is going on? Oh, that's so nasty. As you can see from my dreadful condition, I seem to have underestimated Isador. It seems that in the middle of your education, he changed his mind about our agreement. It was only after I tipped my gullible but determined friend Dominicus into persecuting Isador that I managed to draw you two to Cadil. She's like, what? I hope you are exposed as the villain. To be honest, I wanted our meeting to be perfect, not this dark and ungraceful mess. That was my downfall, wasn't it? I wanted things to play out exactly the way I wanted it to. Still, you belong to me, Branwen, and since I am dying, I expect you to accompany me on my journey to hell. What? What? Time seemed to slow down as Ivan moved swiftly towards me. Strangely, as he got closer and closer, I couldn't help but feel a vague sense of relief. After all, I was the origin of all of this insanity. The literal embodiment of the literal embodiment of a demented prince's fantasy. The cruel result of this awful price all those innocent girls had to pay for one man's perfection and another man's ambitions. With my death, everything would come to an end. But then, ka-choom! That's right. I don't even know what that is, but that looks gross. Okay. Hello. But Isador, are you going to die too now because you're injured and stuff? What is that? Is that like part of his arm? The like black explosion over the sword? Listen, Branwen, you do not belong to the prince, to me, or to anyone else in this world. You belong only to yourself. And I am so sorry for everything. She's like, no. He died. And I was sentenced to a burning? After an investigation by the Cadil Council, both Prince Ivan and his killer were found guilty of various murders. The white-haired girl, on account of being an accomplice, was sentenced to burning. Cadil Nation, Volume 14. Hello? Epilogue. Years later in Nortrek. Oh! I lived. Obnoxious boy. Why do I have to sort your cakes while you sit idly and eat leftover chocolate? Oh, who was the person who begged me not to report you for stealing my merchandise? However, if you change your mind, I'm still willing to escort you to the nearest deputy. Though with your current track record, I don't think this is such a great idea. Medaya was wrong. Medai told me you were a nice white-haired lady who owned a sweet shop and sometimes gave free cakes to kids on the streets. But you're obviously a child labor endorsing witch. That's why you're so ugly. I bet you poisoned all the cakes you sold. And I love you too, and if you don't hurry up with the cleaning, I will definitely tell Medai that you've been trying to steal my things. You don't want the girl you like to look down on you, do you? See, I never even told anyone that I liked her, and yet you know. You are a witch. And I will turn you into a toad if you don't hurry up with the cleaning. He leaves to sort out more cakes. Ha, stubborn kid. When will he learn to put aside his pride and ask nicely? I see you're doing well. Dominicus! Hi! To be honest, I didn't think I would ever see you again. Perhaps the Cadil Guard Council, whatever, changed their mind and decided to burn the rest of me as well? No, I'm actually here on a mission to Olarima to bring back the king's half-niece to be the next ruler of Cadil. While I was planning to find you on the way, it was pure coincidence that I met you here. I see. Now that you've found me, how may I help you? Thought a great deal after the whole incident was revealed all those years ago. And my conclusion is that 2 people are chiefly responsible for all those murders are already dead. You had chosen to place your trust in Isador, and I had chosen to place my trust in Ivan. It is simply an unfortunate circumstance that the people we thought highly of turned out to be not the people we thought they were. It would be unfair to hold you accountable for all the things that they did. It is for that reason that I voted not to kill you all those years ago. Enough girls have died for the desires of those 2 men. And as much as the purpose of your very existence pains me, I do not want you to be another victim. You know, even after knowing the full truth, I still can't bring myself to fully spite Isador. I am no saint, Captain Dominicus. Isador may have done unspeakable things to me and countless other girls, but that doesn't change the fact that he was my one and only family. I see. Oh, a floating knapsack. I love it. And as the only one who is willing to admit having Isador as a relative, you have a right to this. All of Isador's items that he carried on him when he died were to be burned, but this one particular object has a rather strong spell on it and refuses to be destroyed. After great deliberation, I decided to save the piece and bring it to you. It's about time I let go of my grudge and move on. By bringing you Isador's most treasured belongings, I hope to make peace with Natalie's fate. Now, if you don't mind, I must be on my way. Is it the drawing? Oh, is it the drawing? He taped it up. He taped up the drawing, you guys. There goes. Mending of a broken fairy tale, the true ending. Welp. So I guess I end up with the cake maker. That was beautiful! But that's like the last one that she has for now. She's thinking of making another one, I believe. So we'll send her some positive vibes if you have them. I'll link to her DeviantArt and also on the Newgrounds website and whatnot. So if you have any comments, any tips, any things that you would like to share, please share them. I thought there was supposed to be one more ending, like a crack ending or something. So I don't know if you know what it is. I'll poke around a little, see if I can find it. But I, once again, knocked it out of the park. I'm so excited that I kind of knew. I didn't know. But, I, secretly was putting together in my brain, maybe she's, a creation. But I didn't think, I don't know. I was still surprised. I didn't think that Isador and the prince were working together. Does that make sense? I figured they might have crossed paths. I didn't think they were working together. Oh my goodness. Very exciting stuff. I loved it. 10 out of 10. And I hope you guys have a good one. Let me know what to play next. Let me know how you feel about the series. And I hope you have a great day. Adios. So I just hit sleep for 30 days and this is the ending you get. So this is the very last ending. You failed. Isador died of an infection and you went crazy. Next time do something by the end of day 30. So those are all of the endings. Also, just as a last note, I wanted to say I found it very interesting that we didn't have an actual love interest in this whole game. Like, we didn't get a kiss throughout this whole game. Like, I'm sure, Prince Ivan did stuff when we had a kid, but isn't that weird? Does anyone else find that bizarre? Cool, but bizarre. But that's my thoughts. I was like, wait a second. She didn't even really like, I mean, I guess she liked these guys, but not like necessarily romantically. I think the closest she came was with Isador. But anyway, have a great day.